Thursday, November 16th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including the investigation into an alleged assault of a New Canaan teen, a state education official back in jail, and later on, our front page previews. Now, Frank Granito has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and Donna Lang later on will take a look back on this day in history. But first, Stratford police have released surveillance images of the suspect they say shot bartender Reggie Woodard on Tuesday night. Now, police released 2 still images from inside bar featuring a man whose face is obscured by a hoodie. Now, one picture appears to show him holding that firearm. Police said the unknown man entered the bar and restaurant on Main Street just before 7 p.m. Tuesday and demanded money. Now, Police Captain Frank Iannotti said Woodard complied with the demands and surrendered an unknown amount of cash. Iannotti said the bartender was then shot once in the abdomen. Iannotti said the gunman then fled the scene on foot. Now, police said Wednesday that Woodard is reportedly in stable condition at Bridgeport Hospital. Police Chief Joe McNeil said he is in the hospital's intensive care unit. Now, friends have set up a GoFundMe page for him, and you can find that link at stratfordstar.com. Police are also asking anyone with information on the shooting to call them at 203-385-4119. And in other news, New Canaan police are investigating an assault that injured a New Canaan teen. Now, 4 sources, all speaking independently, alleged to the New Canaan Advertiser that the injuries were caused by Darien High School students. Well, the sources named 2 senior members of the Darien High School football team. New Canaan Police Public Information Officer Lieutenant Jason Ferraro responded, saying, "We are aware of the incident and conducting an investigation," when the Advertiser revealed some of the information that was provided by the sources. Now, that incident occurred Monday, November 6th. Schools in both towns were closed Tuesday for Election Day. Now, the victim is reported to be of minor age, that is younger than 18. Comment has also been sought from Darien school officials. And Hearst, Connecticut media reports that state education official Stephen Wright is behind bars after being arrested for violating his probation after serving a prison term of 4 drunken driving arrests in 12 weeks. Now, Wright, a member of the State Board of Education, was being held in lieu of $250,000 bond pending a hearing on December 1st. Now, the 62-year-old Wright, a lawyer and former chairman of Trumbull's Board of Education, completed a 120-day prison term on September 8th after he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of driving under the influence and driving with a suspended license. Well, following his release from prison, probation officials said Wright provided them with his home address and a telephone number. However, when he failed to report for his first meeting with an officer, probation officials say they attempted to contact Wright only to find out that the address he had given them in Monroe was a vacant lot and the telephone number was the hotline for the State Department of Children and Families. Now, on September 21st, probation officials say they received a call from a concerned citizen that Wright was seen on September 19th at the Stamford Hilton Hotel lobby bar in an inebriated condition. Now, that concerned citizen was worried that Wright would be driving. A warrant for his arrest was subsequently issued, and Wright was arrested by Bridgeport police. And in Wilton, a 30-year-old Danbury man was charged with risk of injury to a child on November 7th for driving recklessly with 2 children in the car. Now, those children were ages 3 and 6 years old. Robert Dillard of 13 Ellsworth Avenue was stopped on Danbury Road at 10:30 in the morning by Wilton police after they received a complaint that Dillard had run another driver off the road. Well, the arresting officer said that while speaking with Dillard, he detected the odor of marijuana, and a search of the car turned up marijuana and hallucinogenic mushrooms. Now, in addition to the risk of injury charge, Dillard was charged with possession of hallucinogenics and reckless driving. He was released on a $1,000 bond and will appear in court on November 17th. And Central Connecticut State University researchers released their 3rd annual statewide report last Thursday that identified 7 Connecticut police departments for further study because of racial or ethnic disparities in their traffic stop patterns. Now, data from the Connecticut Racial Profiling Project focuses on traffic stops made between October 1st, 2015 and September 30th, 2016. Now, the departments noted in that report are Berlin, Monroe, Newtown, Norwich, Ridgefield, Darien, and a state Police Troop B in North Canaan. Now, other departments like Stratford and Trumbull are also mentioned and have been in reports in the past. Now, researchers explain that since its inception, these collections and analysis methods usually focus on the amount of disparities in stops, not whether actual profiling exists. Now, some police chiefs are now critical of that report, and our HAN Network community newspapers have been covering this story within their own towns. Darien Police Chief Ray Osborne said the department is taking the report seriously and will meet with with the project managers behind the study to understand more about the findings. However, he said the department feels that some of the statistics do not account for Darien's location. Now, some of the markers used for determining racial disparity are based on the local minority population, and the study notes that just 3.5% of Darien residents above the driving age are Hispanic. Now, in Monroe, law enforcement are confused and frustrated about the findings. Police Chief John Salvatore said, in part, it was definitely a surprise to us that we made the list. He went on to say, we are concerned with their findings and inferences in this report, and we plan to talk to the project staff later this month. He added, but the damage is already done. They have established no concrete evidence here, but the report is released. Salvatore said there are big headlines, but did anyone from the group talk to us? No. He said it just adds to the mistrust that some people feel toward the police. And Trumbull Police Chief Michael Lombardo echoed a similar sentiment, saying that the report does not give readers the full picture of law enforcement in town. Now, you can get more on local response and that report at DarienTimes.com, MonroeCourier.com, and TrumbullTimes.com. But taking a turn now, going to throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at your forecast. Frank.
All right, thank you, Kate. And some early morning showers have cleared out of the county now, but we're going to be staring down mostly cloudy skies through the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures a little warmer than we've seen in the earlier parts of the week, a high of 56 today. But wind gusts, the big story, we could be seeing gusts as high as 40 to 45 miles per hour at points in time over the afternoon. Mostly clear skies tonight, a low of 36, still breezy out, carrying into tomorrow morning, wind gusts around 30 miles per hour overnight. Friday, mostly sunny, breezy again, and a little bit cooler out. Temperatures around 48 tomorrow, wind gusts down around 30 miles per hour again. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night, a low of 27, and wind gusts falling down to 54 degrees. Saturday, we're looking at periods of rain scattered throughout the day, mostly cloudy all day long. Temperatures back in the 50s, not as breezy out, and then rain continuing overnight on Saturday. On and off pockets of rain, a low of 47 heading into Sunday. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local news after this.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Whether you're looking for a great test prep program, tutoring to boost your grades, or a blast-off tour with the college of your dreams, C2 Education is here to help. There is nothing one-size-fits-all about our programs. We offer customized tutoring and test prep for each student. Call us today at 203-423-3328.
At Rings End, we say it's time to re-love your home. Time to refresh and reinvigorate the way you live. And whether you're redoing something big or small, remember the letters RE stand for Rings End. We're the new model in home remodeling.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
My advice to an 8th grader would be to really investigate all that prep has to offer for you. Welcome to Prep!
Fairfield Prep is announcing an additional exam date of Saturday, December 2nd. Register today at fairfieldprep.org.
My advice.
Welcome back to this November 16th edition of your Coffee Break. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to throw it over to Donald Eng to get a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, it was the inadvertent birth of a movie and TV franchise. First, though, we go all the way back to 1855. David Livingstone discovers Victoria Falls on what is now the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe. Well, finger quotes, discovers. People had been living there for about 3 million years. In the native language, the falls are called Mosi Oa Tunya, the smoke that thunders, which you'll agree is a far cooler name. The falls are the largest in the world, roughly twice the height and well over double the width of Niagara Falls. 1920, the Queensland and Northern Territory Aerial Services Company is founded. We call it Qantas today. It is the national carrier of Australia and the third oldest airline in the world, behind only KLM of the Netherlands and the Colombian carrier Avianca. 1938, Albert Hofmann first synthesizes LSD from ergotamine in the Sandoz laboratories. Originally intended as a respiratory stimulant, Hofmann, 5 years later, would discover its psychedelic effects when some powder went airborne and he got it in his eyes, nose, or mouth. He really couldn't remember it very clearly. He continued to take LSD for the rest of his life, hoping to find a medical use for it. Albert Hofmann, by the way, the discoverer of LSD, should not be confused with Abby Hoffman, an enthusiast, if you will. Finally, now we go to 1966 for this.
My dad. But a young lawyer named F. Lee Bailey came to Dr. Shepard's rescue. He took on the case and convinced the court Dr. Shepard was robbed of a fair trial the first time around.
Mr. Bailey, how can a man be in jail 10 years and just now be proven innocent or be released from jail?
Because our system has some serious flaws in it.
So how does plead him guilty is ecstatic.
Young F. Lee Bailey there, who on this date in 1966 got Dr. Sam Shepard acquitted of murdering his wife. He'd been convicted 10 years earlier in the first trial. Shepard claimed a shadowy intruder had knocked him unconscious and then beat his wife to death. The story was the basis for the television and movie versions of The Fugitive. Shepard's victory was short-lived, though. The notoriety did follow him, and he died a broken man in 1970, but not before participating in 70 professional wrestling bouts under the name Sam the Killer Shepard. His gimmick was using his knowledge of anatomy to apply submission holds, including the mandible claw, which became the finishing move of Mankind about 30 years later. That is your look back in history for today, November 16th, and I'm Donald Ing.
Thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, Hartford police are investigating after 2 attempted child abductions were reported near a Connecticut school. Now, authorities say both attempts happened around E.B. Kennelly School in Hartford when buses dropped students off. Now, the first happened September 22nd around 3 p.m., and the second was reported around 3:30 p.m. Tuesday. Police say the suspect targeted girls between the ages of 10 and 13 and tried to lure them into his vehicle. Now, the vehicle has been described as a 4-door sedan, possibly an Acura TL. Hartford police say there will be extra security at local schools, and they warn parents to be aware. And despite winning big, not all Shelton Republicans are happy with the state of candidates who were voted into office just 1 week ago on Election Day. Mayor Mark Loretti said he doesn't understand why former Planning and Zoning Chairman Ruth Parkins was the only endorsed Republican candidate who wasn't elected. In her place now is Mark Wodomski, endorsed by the community group Save Our Shelton, or SOS. Wodomski won after he collected the most votes of any of the 5 candidates who ran for Planning and Zoning. Along with Wodomski, Commissioners Jimmy Tickey and Anthony Pagoda were both reelected. Now, SOS members speculated that the push to get Parkins out of office came as a result of her supporting the would-be 121-acre mixed-use development Shelter Ridge that was approved by a 4-2 vote earlier this year. Now, residents oppose the approved zone change and the development and are currently raising money to fight the city of Shelton in a lawsuit. Now, Mayor Loretti disagrees with those speculations by SOS. He told our Shelton Herald that if people weren't happy with Shelter Ridge, they can't just take it out on her. He said they should take it out on me too. Loretti went on to say they should take it out on everyone that voted for it. It's not just Planning and Zoning Commission, it will be other commissions too. Now, Loretti ran unopposed in the 2017 election, which guaranteed him a 14th term in office. P&Z alternate Ned Miller, who also voted in favor of Shelter Ridge, was reelected. Now, Greg Tetro of SOS said the group was pleased overall with the candidates who were elected. There's more on that story at sheltonherald.com. And Your Home CPR LLC is offering a grant to provide a Ridgefield charity, faith-based organization, or other nonprofit with an automated external defibrillator. As a Ridgefield-based business, Your Home CPR said it recognizes the importance of having access to these life-saving devices throughout the community. Now, each year, approximately 350,000 people experience sudden cardiac arrest. Immediate CPR and early defibrillation with an AED can more than double a victim's chance of survival. Now, for every minute that passes without CPR and defibrillation, the chances of survival decrease by 7 to 10%. Well, Ridgefield organizations are invited to apply for this grant now through December 15th. One applicant will be selected to receive an AED for its facility, as well as CPR training for members of the organization. Additional information can be found at yourhomecpr.com. All right, we're going to throw it back to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
All right, thank you, Kate. And looking at some of the action from around the state tournament yesterday, congratulations to the Staples Wreckers and to the Ridgefield Tigers. They are moving on in the Class Double-L Girls Soccer Tournament. The Wreckers a 3-2 victory over Darien. Reese Sutter scoring twice for Staples and Olivia Ronca scoring off a rebound of a penalty kick. Ridgefield won 4-2 on PKs against Glastonbury. The Tigers freshman Faith Arnold getting the game winner in that one. St. Joe's cruising in the Class L Girls Soccer Tournament, a 3-0 victory over Daniel Hand. Maddie Freed with 2 goals and Jessica Mazzo adding another goal to her already stellar tournament resume. Greenwich in girls volleyball, a 3-1 win over Southington. They'll play for the Class Double-L state title now. And in Class M, St. Joe's, a big win. As we mentioned on Tuesday, they're also playing for a volleyball championship. A total of 8 schools are playing in state championship games on Saturday. We'll get you caught up and ready for all 8 of those games later on this afternoon on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. For now, though, we go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, John Kovach joins me to preview our front pages this week after this.
We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all. From Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. SCAP Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now at the Black Friday sales event. Ends November 30th.
At Black Horse Garage, we fulfill all your sports car needs. We specialize in manufacturer-recommended service and aftermarket high-performance parts and installation. We have one of the nation's top storage facilities and offer a high-end collision department that understands your need for detail. Visit blackhorsegarage.com for more.
The Kitchen Center offers quality cabinetry and affordable pricing. Visit our showroom for a free consultation with our professional design staff. For all your other home improvement needs, visit Northeast Building Supply, our full-service lumberyard and window showroom. The Kitchen Center, a division of Northeast Building Supply, 1470 Barnum Avenue, Bridgeport.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all. From Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com. We know it's...
Welcome back to this Thursday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with John Kovach. We're going to preview now our front pages this week. John, what are you looking at first?
I'm at the New Canaan Advertiser, where they unveiled a new plaque. They have a war monument on God's Acre, which is where the ceremony is always held. This is the unveiling of a new plaque there. A speech by a psychologist about making children resilient. A look back at the election and the Advertiser's exit poll, which showed how close that race was. And the celebration of the pending completion of the decade-long effort to build 113 affordable housing units in New Canaan.
All right, well, I'm taking a look at the Milford Mirror, and speaking of development and housing units, an apartment plan is threatening Milford's first burial ground. So there's a lot of controversy around that. Some people in town trying to fight that proposal. Also, more Meadowside housing proposed. A nice story on Scouts collecting about 350 turkeys. And a Bistro Basque patio in downtown Milford. That plan has stalled.
In Darien, a story that we will be discussing more over the coming weeks as there is more development and reaction to it. And that is a study that alleges racial disparities in traffic stops by police in some towns in Connecticut. An update on the alternative education offered at Fitch Academy in Darien. A couple of veteran stories and one about the honor to the late Gene Coyle, who was just a great guy. And Theater 308 at Darien High School presenting its play for the fall.
All right, taking a look at the Stratford Star, big story in Stratford just yesterday, and that's that a bartender was shot during a robbery Tuesday night. That bartender since been identified as Reggie Woodard. The suspect still has not been captured by police. There have been some surveillance photos released, so more on that story. Also, the town's Veterans Day event, thanking veterans for their selfless acts. Some great photos from that. Also, the town council cannot pass a budget at its final meeting. So Stratford is still without a budget. It will be up to the new council to approve one. The commission also approving, the zoning commission approving medical marijuana facilities moving into town.
In Trumbull, new First Selectman Vicky Tesoro preparing to make the transition. First Selectman-elect, she has not taken office yet. Veterans honored, as we saw so many places last week. An honor for a businessman for his work to encourage minorities to get involved in business. Ryan's Rebels holding a trunk or treat. The racial profiling report also targeting Trumbull, and kind of a startling picture of where a car ended up after a crash the other day. Ooh, wow. In Trumbull.
All right, taking a look at the Shelton Herald, a cool feature story, and that's that the wiffle ball has finally made it into the Toy Hall of Fame. A very cool picture of two of the brothers that helped the third-generation owners of wiffle ball there. Republicans also looking to work through the party divide, but as we just talked about, Mayor Mark Loretti not happy with all of the results of last week's election. The state rules in favor of Bridgeport's tuition bill, a magnet school there that Shelton will have to pay for. Police search for a vehicle involved in a hit and run. And Planning and Zoning says farewell to its longtime chairman, Ruth Parkins, and also, of course, a photo from the annual Veterans Day ceremony.
Veterans also getting their due on the front page of the Easton Courier, where the Board of Finance is debating what they will do with excess taxes that were levied, and can they use the extra that they got to lower next year's bill. The fund director of Easton, Gary Simone, is departing.
Wow, I want that job.
No kidding. And taking the plunge, a little cold water dip with the Easton PTA.
All right, taking a look at the Monroe Courier this week, some nice photos from veterans events in town. Also a story we mentioned just a bit earlier, police there questioning this recent profiling study. GOP gains seats in the sweep, so more on last week's election, and fire study underway at long last.
In Wilton, we have coverage of the dismissal by the court of a motion to dismiss a lawsuit involving allegations of sexual assault against a very young girl at a school there. Tribute to veterans being held in Wilton. A march against bigotry and intolerance after a few incidents there. And Willy Wonka taking the stage for the Wilton Children's Theater.
All right, taking a look at the Weston Forum, we have Police Captain Matthew Burdacki promoted to captain. So congratulations to him. Weston celebrating Veterans Day, elected officials sworn in Weston, and a Weston sculptor inducted into the Silver Mine Guild, and kind of a cool sculpture he's done there of a realistic German Shepherd.
That is very cool.
Very cool.
Reading, the Reading Pilot takes a look at local reaction to the recent decision by the Boy Scouts to admit girls, and update with all of those who won election and what their plans are for the term once that starts. Neighbors of the West Reading train station learn that there will be some changes coming, and a memoir writing class for middle schoolers that kind of taught them how to get in touch with, how to preserve family stories and the like.
Oh, that's cool. All right, well, taking a look at the Ridgefield Press this week, a big story in Ridgefield is that zoners approved a Circle Drive bed and breakfast, even though many residents have been upset about that proposal, so more on that. Also, Macklin Reed takes a look at, did Trump turn the town blue? I mean, Democrats swept most races in Ridgefield, so more on that. And a Ridgefield resident to race in his 100th marathon on Sunday. That's just incredible.
That really is. Ballroom champions on the front of our arts and leisure section as they get ready to bring a dance show to Bridgeport. And what's Thanksgiving without the gravy?
All right. And I should mention, inside the Ridgefield Press this week is the Ridgefield 2017 Holiday Events Guide. There are seriously few places in the state that are as lovely around the holidays as Ridgefield. And I have to say, I was the first ever editor of our holiday guide. Ah. The first ever holiday guide.
I love the fountain with the poinsettias.
Oh, it's beautiful. So yeah, everything you need to know about holiday events, and there's a lot of them in Ridgefield. But thank you, John, as always, for joining me.
Happy to be here.
You have a very cool Yankee fisherman coming up at 1 o'clock.
We're going to be talking with Joe Brooks about this will look at the prior Joe Brooks, the fly fishing pioneer, and what promises to be a fascinating documentary about his life that they're trying to finish up now. Going to be a very cool story.
All right, and of course 2 o'clock Nutmeg Sports coming up. We're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break, but we'll see you tomorrow at 11. Have a great day.